Hey, oh, hey, it's your girl, Delisa Robinson, y'all favorite real estate diva. Tonight, we're going to be talking about playing nice in the sandbox, working with your closing agents, which is your attorneys and your title companies. And we're also going to be talking about how you can work well with other wholesalers and real estate agents. Because some real estate agents are under the misconception that wholesaling real estate is illegal, and it's not. Some people are saying it's unethical. It's not. You are giving people what they want. If you do this correctly, you are a solution to their problem. So it's not about yes, no, maybe so, and all this other stuff. So grab your pens and papers because tonight is taking notes. Tonight we are taking notes. Yes? All right. So for y'all who like to say, "Oh, Lisa, you didn't do this. It's been a minute since you've been on." I know, sweet baby. But I'm back. And we're getting ready to we're going to recap you about some stuff that's been going on. We have some health issues we need to talk about. And we also have some updates to some things that we talked about before. So you grab your pencils and your papers, and you don't need calculators tonight. Because I always say grab your pens, your papers, and your calculators, but you don't need those tonight. We just need we just need one little thing. I'm making sure everybody gets this because, as I say, I didn't put it in there, and they can't hear me, but they couldn't see the live stream. So here we are, live streaming our little hot sauce. All right. So today we're talking about how to play nice with others. You know, remember on that when we were in school, you had work well with others. Well, I'm going to teach you how to work well with other people while you are hosting your business. Okay. Now I see here I got a little shine on my face, and that's because I had to oil my skin down. Listen, my skin is killing from my vacation because I have tan. Your girl still not in the sun. Listen. So I want you guys to understand that you do have to work well with other people. You can't just be out here in the streets doing whatever it is that you want just because. You have to work well with others. You know, they have it on your report card. Some jobs have that on there. How well do you work with other people in interview questions and sometimes on your annual review. So we're going to teach you today how to work well with other people while you're hosting a real estate. Okay? First things first. Let's talk about our closing agents. First of all, you need to know what a closing agent is. A closing agent is your attorney for the title company. Now, what's the difference between an attorney and a title company? One has a degree to practice law, the other one does not. Unless the title company is owned by an attorney's office, then you're covered. So, in some states, New York comes to mind, Georgia comes to mind. Yes, you do have to pull title in all 50 states to transfer property. You do have to. You don't have to. Let me tell you, there's one way to get away with it. Have to do a quick claim deed. QUIT. A lot of y'all like to say quick, QUICK, and that is not what that is. Okay, that's not it. So we have a quit claim deed that allows you to transfer property. Just boom, here you go. I'm transferring it to you. Here you go. You don't need attorneys to do it because you can do a quick claim deed yourself. You can literally go down to your accounting office and fill out one. Now you will need some ID because there's so much fraud going on now with properties and people trying. You hear it on the news all the time where people are getting their property stolen basically by doing all this. So you have to show ID when you go to file the deed, and your attorney has to, or if you do it by yourself, if you go down there and say, "Hey, I want to file this quick claim deed," they're going to ask you for ID. At least they should. If they don't, shame on them. But anyhow, so that's what you can do. But if you're not doing a quick claim deed, you need to have a transfer, a property transfer, which is called a title. You have to pull title. Some states will require you to go back a certain number of years, 20, 40, 60, 80. Some states will require some loan officers will require you to go back a certain number of years. Some states require a certain number of years. Some transactions, you have people in some states you only have to go back 40 years on the title, and some you have to go back 60, 80, depending on what the situation is, who does what and where and how. Title can hem you up with closing. So the reason why New York State requires an attorney, but Michigan does not, is simple. It's the law. It depends on the state, first of all. And it depends on, New York State is very legal. We have a lot of lawyers. We have a lot of lawyers. We have a lot of lawyers. Let me say it again. We have a lot of legalese in New York State. We have a lot of legalese in California. We have a lot of legalese in Texas. But depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. If it's going to be considered a lot of legal stuff. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have your attorney pull title. They're going to contact the title company. The title company is going to pull the title. If you don't have one, because every time you purchase property, you're supposed to receive a title. And I wish I had one of mine with me, because mine are all packed away in a fireproof box. And I didn't have time to go down and look for it. So you have a title. I kid you not, your title's going to be about this long, and it's going to be about yay thick. And it's going to have the history of your property from the date it was built. If you go back that far. Like my house was built in 1921. So my house is over 100 years old. My title goes back 100 years. Because they have record of my title for 100 years. Some houses were just built 20 years ago. So they're only going to have 20 years worth of title. And in those cases, you're only going to have maybe 3 owners. In my case, I had like 10 different owners on this house. And my ex-husband's grandparents are going to be considered, are on the title. And then we are on the title. And then when we transferred the house into the business name, it's on the title. And then after divorce, we transferred it back. So now I'm back on the title. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes. So you understand what the title is for. The title is to show the history of ownership. The deed only shows who owns it right now. The title shows every single person that's ever owned the house. It's a history. And you have to, in a title review, you're going to go through the entire title and they're going to make sure that everything matches up. They have to make sure during title review, the reason why title takes so long to get reviewed is not only do they have to make sure that all the names are matching up and the dates are consistent, but they also have to make sure there are no liens against previous owners. There is a lien release after each person. If you don't have a lien release, you at least have to have title insurance. That's why title insurance is required, to protect you from somebody coming back and saying, hey, I never said this was okay, or I never agreed to sell my house, or I never agreed to doing this. Then let me tell you how that happens. Her people have to be properly served. You have to properly serve a person who you are. If you're like doing a foreclosure process, you have to be properly served. The owner has to be properly served. So if the owner is not properly served, you can't sell the house. Now, we just happened to do it anyway. That would be a perfect case. There's a case that went on not too long ago. I saw it on Instagram, where the owner of the property was incarcerated, in jail, locked up, not coming home for a long time, has already been in prison a long time, and they sold his property at auction for not paying the taxes. He knew the law because he was a real estate investor before he went to prison, so he knew the law. Literally had to go to the prison and get him to sign this paper, releasing it, and he wouldn't release it until somebody paid him. Now, we're not going to talk about how the person paid $50,000 for this parcel of land, this lot that he's getting ready to put a new built house on. He had it in this situation. He had it where he he wasn't properly served, so they legally shouldn't have sold the house, but they did. So since they sold the house, the person who bought it at auction, he bought it for $50,000. So he's like, okay, that property's really not worth more than 50,000. So I'm hoping that when I go to see this guy, he gives me a good deal. The guy didn't know how much the property was worth now, so of course he's in prison. He's gonna be there for a long time. I got away saying, hey, can it be 1,000? How much do you want for the property? He was like, well, how much you want to give me? He didn't know how to play the game. Because remember what I told you guys way long time ago. First person to mention money fails the negotiation. You automatically lose the negotiation when you mention money first. So he asked him, how much do you want to sell this property for? How much do you want for it to sign this release? The guy said, give me $1,000. So of course, the guy from Instagram that I was watching that I've talked to before, he gave him, he said, agree, I'll give it to you, agree. He puts $1,000 not in the family member's hand, not in this hand. No, he put $1,000 in this guy's commissary. The guy signed off on it, and he got the property. Now here's what could have happened had he not signed this, and this guy hadn't been served properly. He came home and got his property back and had already built a house on top of it. That house, that land, and everything affiliated with it goes back to the guy who's in prison. That is why you need proper title research, proper title review, and to purchase title insurance. That is why, that is why, that is why. Now, your attorneys will take care of that. Your title companies will take care of that. Title companies do not review, from my experience, they do not review, they review the contract to see who did what and to make sure all the T's are dotted, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But they do not go into the legalities of the contract. If you sign it and they sign it, it's good to go. That's why when you're doing seller finance and subject to and lease options, you need to have an attorney review those contracts. Just don't go to the title company. You need an attorney. I don't care what state you're in. You need an attorney. And that's just my experience. That's my advice to you. Now you could take it. You could take it and say, "Denise, I know what you're talking about. Forget her," and keep it moving. Or you can just do what I told you to do, get an attorney. All right. So when you're working with attorneys, make sure you stay in constant contact. Make sure you are doing what they ask you to do. Title companies as well. If they say, hey, we didn't get this document, and you know you sent that same document 50 million times already, send it 50 million in one, just because they're going to keep asking you for it. And what I do is because I'm petty, I'll say it again, I am petty. And because I'm petty, I will forward the email that I attached the document to from the beginning to show that I've sent this already. Yeah. And I'll reattach it, send it a new email, attached to the old email where it was attached to already. I sure will. Because, like I said, I'm petty. And that's what it is. All right. Now, so that's when you're working with your title company and you're working with your attorneys. That's what you do. Now, if everybody is okay with that, just put the number one in the chat or in the comments, just so we can see where everybody is and everybody understands you need the attorney. When you are wholesaling, you have to know what your state requires. And what I mean by that is, like I said, New York is a title state. We are an attorney state. We have to close with an attorney involved in the mix. Okay? We cannot just go to the title company and close an account and close the property. That is not how New York State works. But in Wisconsin and in Michigan and in Oklahoma, yeah, I can close without an attorney. I can close just using the title company. And if you are paying cash, use one title company. If this is a loan involved, then just like you would get two separate attorneys, you would get two separate title companies. And that's it, that's all. Okay? Now, next thing on our agenda, everybody with me? If you're with me, say, yeah, girl. In the comments, let me know everybody's with me. Say, yeah, girl, we with you. Now, let's talk about working with other wholesalers. Because God forbid y'all decide to JV with somebody. First things first, when you are going to JV, joint venture, that means you and another wholesaler have agreed to work together. And this is something we're getting ready to go over in the Get Wired Boot Camp. We finished our first session on Sunday. We got session 2 coming up tomorrow night. And we're going to be talking about this probably third or fourth session where we are working with other wholesalers. That's called a JV agreement, joint venture agreement. When we are talking about this and going through this process of a joint venture agreement, you need something in writing. Let me say this again. You need something in writing. Okay? Now, here's what you need. You need a joint venture agreement that states Delisa and Delisa and Simone have decided to work together on this wholesale deal. That means either one of three things is going to happen. Either Delisa has the property under contract and Simone is going to bring her a buyer, or Delisa is bringing the buyer because Simone has the property under contract, or they've agreed to partner together. They both signed the contract and they're both going to actively look for a buyer and they're going to split the proceeds 50-50. That is how you work with other wholesalers. However, it don't always work like that. And people do things that they shouldn't do, and they have agreements that they shouldn't have, and they do things that other people don't necessarily get to. So what we're going to do with that is this. When you're working with another wholesaler, one thing that's most important out of anything else is communication. When you're working with an attorney, a title company, another wholesaler, and a real estate agent, communication. You have to communicate with the person that you're working with. So one person needs to know what the other person is doing. Because what normally happens when you have a person who has a property under contract, in this example, Delisa has a property under contract. Simone is a wholesaler that's looking to partner with. All right? Now, I'm not allowing, and Simone may want to market this property and do all this stuff. Yes, you will market the property for what I have it listed for. You can't market it on, you have to pay attention to the rules. You can't market this property on social media because I've already got it on social media. You can't market this property on Zillow because I already have it listed on Zillow. You can't market this property on Craigslist or Fizbo's.com or nowhere because I already have it marketed. So if I say don't do that, because the same thing that you're doing, I could do. I could list it on social media. I could put it on Facebook Marketplace. I can put it on Craigslist. I could run an ad in a newspaper. I could run a Google ad. I could run ads on social media and have people come to me and see me. And Google ads are better. I'll say it again. Google and YouTube ads are better for running ads than Facebook and Instagram. But Facebook and Instagram works too. TikTok works too. But so you have to, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the rules set by the person who owns the contract for the property. Okay? Now, in a scenario where me and Simone have decided that we're going to do this together, that means we've decided, hey, We got the property under contract. This is when we're going to market the property. We sat down and made a conversation. We decide if in a scenario where Simone is another wholesaler who's approaching me because they saw my post or my ad or whatever for this property and say, hey, I know I have a buyer for that property. Okay, bring me the buyer. When that buyer comes, we've already, and we have agreement. I'm not putting anything, this is me. Y'all can do what y'all want to do out there in the street. But in these real estate streets, my side of the street, I'm not putting another property under contract with a wholesaler until they can provide me proof of funds from the actual buyer. I've gotten burned 3 times this year in the last 2 to 3 months with this same situation where somebody came to me and the first question I always ask, are you wholesaling this? Are you another wholesaler? I need to know so I know how to maneuver. When you get people coming to you and putting things under contract, and then they can't close. So now your property's been held up all this time, so you could have closed it. So I tell people all the time, I'm not putting under contract until you tell me you have a buyer. I'll let you show it. I'll let you do whatever. We can sign a deed agreement saying that I'm going to pay you X amount of percentage of dollars, or I'm going to pay you a set amount or a flat rate amount, but I'm not putting anything under contract so you can show me you have a buyer. Like I said, the last 3 deals that I've had have fallen apart because of me not following my own rule that I put in place. So that's why when people say, oh, well, what are you going to do with this? Or why you can't do that? No. I need to know up front. I'm the most easygoing person on the planet when it comes to a JV agreement. I need to know if you're another wholesaler. So if I ask you that question, it doesn't mean I'm not going to work with you. I just need to know what I'm working with so I know which way I need to go. Because if you hold up my property and you don't abide by the rules of the contract that we signed, my contract is very strict when it says I have a right to get that property back to you. I have a right to find my own buyer. So I don't want to, and I'm going to tell you that. So you have to know how to work with people. You should know your wholesalers, JV partners, direct phone number, not a Google number, not a VPN number or whatever. You need a direct phone number to your JV partner. You need their email address. You need to know how to get in contact with them on a daily basis. If something is going on and you're showing the property, you should be texting your JV partner and letting them know, hey, we have a showing today at 2. If you have any buyers, send them over. We have a showing today at 5. Saturday, we're going to do a showing at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 2:30, 2:15, whenever it is. You have to communicate that to your JV partner, which is another wholesaler. Okay? If a real estate agent chooses to bring you a deal, you have to then work with that. You have to let your JV partner know, hey, this real estate agent says she has a buyer. If you are in the third scenario where you're working in partnership with someone, you have to let them know that a real estate agent has made you an offer. Excuse me. You have to let them know that. If you have a partner, if you have a JV partner, but you own the seller side of the contract and they're looking for the buyer side of the contract, then you don't have to let them know. You can just say, hey, I'm starting to get offers. Final offers are due by this date. Okay? I don't know, I hope y'all got that. Now, how do we work with these real estate agents? Lord Jesus, okay. First of all, let me say I am a licensed broker for the state of New York. Okay, let's just say that. Excuse me. So we're gonna clear the air on that. I'm a licensed broker for the state of New York. I don't have anything against working with real estate agents on off-market deals. I am very known for all of my real estate agents out there, especially those of you who work with me in Buffalo, Milwaukee, Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, and other parts of New York State. If you have a buyer and you come to me and the first thing you ask me is about commission, I'm going to say not serious. Here's why I say that. You're more concerned about your money than you are about your client. Because if I say no, there's no commission, now you're not going to show your client my house just because there's no commission in it for you. When in actuality, there's a way for you to work your commission into it. And I can show you that. And the real estate agents that are in my boot camp, they get that information. So here's the deal. Yes, I know your commission is important. When I post my property, I post if there's commission in there for a real estate agent, I will put it in there. Real estate agent, real estate, and include, I'll say a statement about real estate agents so you know. Yes, you can do it. Because legally, even though my deals are off market, I'm a broker, so I have to protect my license. There are certain things that I cannot post. We're not supposed to advertise commission. So, but I have a way to do it. I do it through the post. Or just pick up the phone, call me, text me, email me, and ask me. Inbox me if you're on social media and you saw it. Ask me, and I will tell you yes or no. This deal, there's one particular deal that I'm working right now. There is no room to breathe on this account. Nowhere in this transaction. The seller owes so much money on this house that they're not making a dime. They're just getting rid of the house so they can afford to make a payment. Yep, that part. So when I say working with real estate agents, I need to know your broker because technically I'm not supposed to pay the agent. I'm supposed to pay the broker, and then the broker can pay the agent. So we know there are some agents out there that will want to be paid separately apart from their broker, and I'm fine with that. That's your license, that's in trouble, not mine. Has nothing to do with me. It's beyond me. It's above me now. Once you do that, I can only tell you, hey, I have a commission form. I have you fill it out. You can do what you want to do. All right. And that's my word. Because real estate agents, you have to be careful with how you do things. And you guys know, you could sneeze wrong and they want to take your license. We all know that in the game of in the process of getting our license, the only thing we were taught were how the laws. We weren't taught how to do the transactions. We were taught the laws. Okay. And in the process of taking our license and doing the things that we had to do with that license, there's certain things that we can and cannot do, even if it's an off-market deal, even if it's a pocket listing, even if it's especially if it's on the market. So you have to be very, very careful about how you advance in a transaction, whether you're on the market or off the market, or it's a pocket listing. A pocket listing is a listing that can't be advertised outside of the brokerage too much. You pretty much, it's just in-house. So, and with the new rules that went into effect where buyers now have to pay their own agent, a lot more agents are starting to learn how to do the wholesale process just so they get paid. All right. Y'all think I'm joking, I'm not. So I'm telling y'all, that's not how it is. All right. Now, when you're working with a realtor, you have to know their phone number. Same thing you need to know what everybody you work with. You need to know their phone number. You need to know their brokerage. You need to know how their buyer is paying. Is it cash or financing? Is it a 1031 exchange, which has to be done a different way? If they're buying in the name of a trust, how does the trust have to appear on the contract or the deed? These are things that you need to know as a wholesaler, and it's also the things that we go through in the boot camp. So it's too late to join boot camp, but I do have something else that you guys can join if that's what you want to do. Okay? And that is I have a DIY kit. So the wholesaling DIY kit is basically you will get all of the training, the workbook, you get all of the contracts that I use. And I use 8 different contracts. So for those of you who say, you don't need all that. Yes, you do. And there's some guides in the DIY kit, and that is going to be on sale for the next 48 hours for $47 because it's normally $297. Going to be on sale for $47. So I will be sending that out later, especially to my key fees and profits people in the my Black Women Investing Real Estate people. So that's where we're at. Now, when I say you're wholesaling, you have to work with other people. You have to work with other people. It don't always work out. So what is your recourse when it doesn't work out? It depends on your state laws. It depends on your agreements that you have in place. And it also, that's why it's mandatory. And it's also really good to have everything in writing. Because wholesaling real estate can be tricky. And we're going to get into some of the sticky situations that you get into probably on Saturday. I think it's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is really, I'm going to go over a bunch of case studies for you guys so that you can actually look and see what is going on and how really come up with some scenarios and show you guys the actual properties. We're going to run the numbers. We're going to do all that Saturday morning. Yes, Saturday morning. So it's going to be early. The coconuts will all be here this weekend. If you follow me for any long period of time, the coconuts are my children. So, my children and my grandchildren. I have 2 amazing sisters. I do. That's 2 amazing grandchildren. I love them dearly. So they're going to be with me probably Saturday morning. Serenity, definitely. Everybody knows Serenity because she is not camera shy at all. But so that's what you're doing. So we're going to be talking about case studies on Saturday. We have, so if you guys want to put this down, I made a schedule for myself. Tomorrow, today is Tuesday, so probably Thursday, because I have to do 2 live streams on Thursday. Thursday, I'm going to have a special guest, Miss Angelique Marnier. She will be on here, Marnier. She will be live with me on Thursday talking about insurance. We're going to be talking about how you can use your insurance policies to buy real estate. We're going to be talking about the different insurance policies that you need to have in order to build wealth. A lot of you think the insurance policy is for when you die. No, the insurance policy can be used as a savings account for while you're alive. During the height of the real estate season, when everything is going 50, 60, 70, $100,000 over asking price and things of that nature, and people were paying cash, that's where that was coming from. People were pulling money out of their 401ks, they were pulling money out of their stocks, they were pulling money out of their insurance policies, and they were paying for the real estate. Wait for Thursday. We'll have Angelique go in and talk to you, tell you guys how that works and how the ins and outs of it. Okay? Now, it's 8:30. We've been on here about 30, 35 minutes. Do you have any questions regarding what we discussed today, talking about building and talking about working with Play Nice in the Sandbox, working with others, how to work with your closer agents, which is your attorneys and your title companies. We talked about how to work with wholesalers and how you need to have a JV agreement in place that's very specific to each and every situation that you have. If you're doing a partnership business with somebody and you're JVing all your deals, you still need to have what they call an operating agreement in place. So you need to always have something in writing explaining who does what, who's responsible for what, and how much is going to be paid out, and when and how. Okay? So don't get into these deals and not know exactly what it is that you're getting into, because it can be really, really rough out in the streets. The streets, I'm telling you, it's like turbulence. When you're flying on an airplane, you get turbulence. It gets turbulent out here in these real estate streets if you don't have things in writing. Okay. Now, another thing too, because I said I was going to do this for you guys, I am definitely going to have another. A lot of you called me after the fact, and when I say after the fact, I mean after the fact. You called me after the registration ended for the Get Wired Wholesale Real Estate Boot Camp. Now, this is a boot camp I do once, definitely, maybe twice a year. And this is the last time this one will be offered for a long minute. It's a lot of work. So, and a lot of you couldn't afford it. And I understand because the boot camp is 4 weeks. We meet twice a week for 4 weeks, every Sunday, every weekday. And we go step by step through the process of wholesaling real estate and building a business and putting systems in place so that you can put some of your stuff on autopilot and not have to always be doing it. And that's what we're going through these next 4 weeks. We've already finished session one. The reason why I cut off the registration is like, oh, you've only done one session. I had one girl inbox me. She said, you've only done one session. Why can't I join? Because in one session, they got enough homework for a week that has to be done in 3 days. They got it on Sunday. It has to be done by tomorrow. Because tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, we're going to be back live streaming again. We're going to be back on there again on the Zoom call, and I'm going to give them more information and more homework so they're already behind. That is why I cut off the registration at a certain point. I can't continuously let people join and then you play catch up. So that's why it was cut off. Now, if your checking savings wasn't set up, but you still want to learn how to wholesale real estate, you can get the Divas DIY kit. You can do it yourself. You will get it's a recorded training. It's 7 different recorded videos. It's teaching you how to do it has the recorded videos. We have the 8 contracts that I use in my transactions. The workbook is there if you need it. And we're doing it for a 48-hour power sale of $47. And you have access to this program for 1 year at $47. That's it. That's all. So yes, it's me. It's a class that I've taught before. It's me. Like I said, I'm there and I'm teaching you. You can go right through the workbook and I'm teaching right from the workbook through this course. So if you need it, you want it, you can have it. And I'll have the links and things out for you guys so that you can do it. Those of you who hit me up in my inbox, it's until 11:59 on Tuesday, Thursday night. And that's going to be it. So I don't know what to tell y'all. So we're going to be doing this. In the meantime and in between time, your girl's getting ready to go. Because my sleep pattern is off since I got back from vacation. And my sleep pattern is off, so I can't take the sleep. I can't do it anymore. So I have to go to bed. That's all I can say. I gotta go to bed. So I am in between time. So just to give you guys an idea of what's going to happen over the next few times. Thursday, tomorrow, I will not be live streaming because I have boot camp. So there's no live stream tomorrow. On Thursday, there's going to be a live stream during the day. That's when we're talking about wholesaling real estate, and we're going to talk about the sellers. And then there's going to be another one in the evening where I have a special guest, and Ashley's going to come in and she's going to tell us about the insurance and how we can use insurance to build wealth. Our insurance policies can actually help us build wealth. We're going to talk about that. On Friday, we have news and views, and I'm going to give you some updates because there are some states who have made some changes to their real estate laws, especially with wholesaling and Airbnb. So we're going to talk about that. On Saturday, we'll do case studies, and that's probably something we'll do every Saturday morning now, is just give you 1 or 2 case studies to show you something in real estate that is gone right or wrong or indifferent, just to give you guys an update about what's going on out here in the real estate streets. And then Sunday, there will be no live stream. I told you the girl had to get her schedule together. Woo, Lord Jesus, rough all year. And I say it's hard out here for a pimp. Well, anyway, so we're gonna get ready to get out of here so that I can get some sleep. I do have to read 10 pages of the book that I'm reading because I've dedicated my time to read 10 pages, and I have to write 10 pages in the book that I'm writing. So I will see you tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Thursday. Love, peace, and thank you for always giving me support. Like I said, if this is your first time, don't let it be your last. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for the support and always coming back. I appreciate the knowledge. If you have questions regarding something in real estate and you're not quite sure how to maneuver, hit me up in my DMs. And you can schedule a strategy session with me. And the link is in the bio on Instagram. To be honest, yeah, Instagram and Facebook and on YouTube channel too. So we have the links that's going up. We've been redoing some things. So I'm so excited about some things that are coming up. And when I tell you things are going to happen, I want you guys to start. I always tell you to be kind. I say because somebody in your life has been kind to you, you should always take kindness for it. Not only does it give you a person, but if we all do it, it makes the world a much better place. I say that at the end of each live stream. But here's something else I want you to think and focus on. Focus on what you have and what you'll gain. Don't focus on what you lost. If you stop focusing on what you lost or what you lose, you're open to gaining more. All right? Think about it. Stop focusing on what you've lost or what you're losing or what you don't have and focus on what's to come. And I've been doing this and doing this and doing this, and I'll say do everything in gratitude every day. And I'm giving you guys a challenge for the next 2 days. For those of you who are listening to me live, and for those of you who will listen to me later. For the next 2 days, I want you guys to write down 50 things that you're grateful for. And I know you always say, Lisa, I don't have 50 things. Yes, you do. And you have 50 different things every day. You woke up, you're grateful. Your parents are here, you're healthy. Your kids are healthy. That's all stuff that you can be grateful for. I want you guys to be grateful, to write down. And I'm telling you, if you do this every day, I'm going to show you this book. This book, everybody heard of The Secret, right? Well, this is it's called Daily Teachings of The Secret. And I love this book. And on day 2, it said, live in gratitude. And whenever you're feeling like you're doubting yourself or you're not sure where you're supposed to be, or you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, or you feel like the world is chaotic and you can't get your thoughts together, write down what you're grateful for. And it will redirect you and it will also allow positive energy to come into your space. All right? I kid you not, it works. Because I'm getting ready to do mine too. I got to write mine for the day. But see, mine, it says, because y'all don't be believing me. Y'all think I just be making up stuff. So it says, stage 2, to change your life fast, use gratitude to shift your energy. When you put all your energy to gratitude, you will see miracles take place in your life. To change things quickly, commit to writing 100 things you are grateful for each day until you see the change and feel the gratitude. There it is. So I'm only asking y'all to do 50. They told me to do 100. But if you want to do 100, go ahead. But I'm telling you, you can do 100 different things. It's 100 different things to be grateful for. I'm grateful for breathing. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful to be I'm grateful to be in my home. I'm grateful to have my children. I'm grateful for the relationship I have with my children. So there's so many different things you can be grateful for. So just be grateful and live in that gratitude space. And I kid you not, it will amaze you the changes that will go on in your life. All right. And my friends can tell you, my 2 friends that I tell, my 3 friends that I tell all my babies to, they'll tell you, well, Lisa, you've been a little down lately, and for the past month, I've been a little down. Even after my vacation, I've been a little down. Things have been. So I need to get back to gratitude. So So I'm telling you that it works. All right. My soapbox. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. So I'm going to get ready to get up out of here. And remember, I won't be on tomorrow, but I will be back on Thursday twice. Thursday early, around noonish. Yeah, man, it might be around 11-ish because Angela and I are going on around 5. So yeah, we're going on about around 5 o'clock. And I got to confirm with her tomorrow to make sure. So we're, like I said, we're going to be building wealth through your insurance policies. And that's what she's going to be teaching us about. So please make sure if you have not heard, you heard it now. And we're going to talk about it later. So I will talk to you. I keep saying tomorrow because I want to do something tomorrow for some reason. Maybe I'll sneak on tomorrow. Who knows? Because I keep saying tomorrow, but and I think I'm saying tomorrow because I keep today's Tuesday. So I will see you guys on Thursday twice, and we will get back to the business of real estate and get you guys into a position where you can start building your portfolio. I about to say product. No, you can start building your portfolio and gaining income. We're going to try and increase our streams of income. Right now, we're wholesaling, and wholesaling is what? To stack cash. For those of you who don't have cash, you don't have credit. If you have cash, you have credit, and you want a strategy for how you can build a real estate portfolio or wealth through real estate using your cash and decent credit, hit me up in my inbox and we'll set up a call and we can talk about it. So for those of you who cannot do that because you don't have any cash, you don't have any credit, and you want to start out with wholesaling, let's do this a different way. You can also hit me up and we can do a one-on-one strategy and customize a plan for you. But I suggest wholesaling so you can stack some cash because you do need some money to do some things. Okay? We're going to talk about that later. All right. Love and like you a lot. Hasta la bye-bye. See y'all later. Oh. What is it? All right. So it's not letting me. I asked to do this before. It's not letting me do it. There it is.